Hello, welcome to Urban Inkspot. My name is Janine and I'm really excited you came by my channel today. We're going to do a couple of things. First of all, we're going to do a currently inked for December 2024. And then I want to tell you about a new series that I'll be adding to my channel starting next year. So first of all, for currently inked, I have 6 pens that I will be using this month. And I've got a couple, actually 4 of them that are returning from last month. And then 2 new ones that I have different ink in. So the first one we're going to talk about is my Sailor Pro Gear Slim Iris Nebula. And this pen is inked with a new to me ink that I got from an ink swap from the New York pen group. And we'll just go ahead and do a swatch here. And this is the Sailor Pro Gear Slim. This has a broad nib, and this is Iris Nebula as the colorway. And this ink is Pelikan Golden Lapis. And this was an ink of the year a while back. I don't know the exact year that this was the ink of the year, but like I said, I got this from a pen club meetup, my very first time ever joining the Big Apple Pen Club, and I had an absolute blast, by the way, tons of fun. And I really like this ink. I like the way there's some shimmer in here, and it really, I think it pairs well with the shimmer that is in the body of the pen. The next pen we're going to look at is my Esterbrook Estie Botanical Garden, and this is inked with Diamine Oxblood. So one thing I really like about this pen is that it is got so many different colors in the body, and it makes it interesting to find a new pairing and to mix and match different inks. So this is my Esterbrook Estie, and this was formerly a broad nib, but I had it ground to a journaler nib. No, that's not right. I think I had this ground to a smooth italic. Let me actually double check that. Yeah, this was actually ground to a smooth italic by Gina Salarino from Custom Nib Studio. And inked in this pen is Diamine Oxblood. Really great pairing, I think. I think it's pretty good. Pretty excited about it. The next pen is a pen that I have had inked with a sample, and I have just bought this ink, so I now have it in my collection. This is a TWSBI VAC 700R Mini. This is a I think it's a cursive italic. And this is inked with Birmingham Pen Company Interstellar Bronze. and I've really been enjoying this pairing. This ink is a major sheener, and I have had a lot of fun using it in my day-to-day work planning and also in journaling. And it's just it's been a lot of fun. This is my Schon Design Pocket 6 in Faceted Brass. That's a D. Schon Design Pocket 6 in Faceted Brass. And this is a medium nib. And I have this inked with Sailor, Manyo, Shirakashi. And this pairing has returned from my last month and maybe even the month before. I've been enjoying this pairing a lot. I really like how the ink changes color as it dries, and it reminds me of how the ink is, or how the pen is going to patina over time. And I just like this pairing a lot. It's been a lot of fun. The last two pens that we have are my Pilot Custom 74. And this was originally a medium nib that I had ground into a journaler nib by Gina Salarino from Custom Nib Studio. And this is inked with Robert Oster Deep Sea. I pulled this sample from a sample, like an ink swatching of all of my sample inks, and this pairing it's been very enjoyable. I've been reaching for this pen a lot since I inked it up at the beginning of last month, so I will be refilling this with the current sample, and I'm not certain that I will buy this ink, but I've been enjoying it as I've been using it. If you haven't seen that video, I'll link it in the cards. I actually went through all of my ink samples that I've had in my collection and just decided to go through and get them all swatched out so I could see which one I wanted to buy. I did make a purchase out of that collection. Actually, I ended up making two purchases. I bought this Birmingham Pen Company Interstellar Bronze, and I also bought Urban Vert Ampere, which I inked it up in a pen last month if you want to see that ink paired with the Pilot Elite 95S. And then the final pen that I have inked is my Sailor Pro Gear Quasar. And this is in a fine nib. And I have this inked with a cartridge, Sailor, goodness, I do this every time. So it's not this one. This one is inked with Sailor Kasasagi cartridge. And this ink is super juicy in this pen nib, which really surprises me. It's a fine nib, and it really does lay down a lot of ink. So that's it. That's what I have planned for my pen and ink pairings for December 2024, and I'm really excited about doing some journaling and just general writing and planning with these pens and ink combos over the course of the next month. I also want to introduce a series that I'll be adding to my channel in 2025. So I am in analytics as my day job. That's what I do for a living. And so that actually manifests in a lot of different ways, where I like to measure things, I count things, I look at things as they trend over time. And so what I want to do this coming year is kind of bring you into how I look at my pen and ink collection over time and see if some of this stuff is interesting to you. What I will be doing at the end of this year is I'm going to be very informally, it's not a scientific method at all, but very informally, I'm going to be measuring all of my ink levels, my current ink levels across my bottled ink collection. And then every quarter, what I plan to do is take another measurement so I can see which of my inks that I am going through more often. I'm also going to be updating which pens and inks, the different pairings, how often they show up. What you're going to see from me next is a recap on how these pairings are going, and I will be adding in a rating system similar to what you've seen on some other channels. I would, really love to credit Chris Sains for inspiring my thoughts on how I'm going to be measuring how these pairings work at the end of every month. So anyway, pen and ink pairings for December 2024, and just a quick peek into my plans for 2025. And I hope that you will come along this journey with me. I look forward to seeing you in the next one. Bye. Yeah, so I'm going to take pictures of what they're watching, which is... What is this? We don't even know. But look, there is a very rare scenario when the same thing is showing on all the screens. It doesn't happen. That's so good. That's so good, yeah. Midnight Moment in partnership every night. And now it's done.